All this week, we've been bringing you the results of our latest WRAL News Poll conducted exclusively for us by Survey USA. And tonight, we turn to gun reform. Hello, I'm Dan Haggerty.
And I'm Lena Tillett. Back in May, 10 people were killed when a white supremacist opened fire in a supermarket in a predominantly black neighborhood in Buffalo, New York. Just days later, 19 students and 2 teachers died inside Robb Elementary in Uvalde, Texas. And a month later, Congress passed the first gun control legislation in 30 years.
We asked 1,100 people across the state whether they think that legislation went far enough. WRAL Capitol Bureau Chief Laura Leslie has the results.
Partisan differences on gun control are often pretty extreme, but in this case, it's clear across the board that people don't think the new law went far enough. We asked whether the new law's expansion of background checks for gun buyers under 21 would help reduce gun violence. Only 17% said it would help a lot, 43% said a little, 30% said it would do nothing, and 10% weren't sure. The law also included more funding for red flag programs that allow courts to take guns away from people who pose a danger to themselves or others. Most people we polled didn't think that would help much either. 23% said it would help a lot, 44% said a little, 25% said it wouldn't do anything, and 9% weren't sure. We asked whether the new law should have raised the age to buy an assault rifle to 21. 64% said it should have, compared to 23% who said no, and 13% weren't sure. Even gun owners strongly supported that one. Looking at breakdown by party, there was support for raising the age across the board, including 55% of Republicans, 80% of Democrats, and 60% of unaffiliated voters. We also found broad support for banning the sale of high-capacity magazines. 55% supported that, with 27% opposed and 18% not sure. That had support across the political spectrum, too, from a plurality of Republicans, 45%, plus 74% of Democrats and 49% of unaffiliated voters.
This was a bit of a stunner to me.
Western Carolina political scientist Chris Cooper was surprised by the support from Republicans.
It does appear there is some political support for some stricter gun laws, even than the Democrats were able to get through Congress.
When we asked whether Congress should pass other additional gun control measures, 61% said it should. Just 25% said it shouldn't, and 14% weren't sure. Republicans were about evenly divided, while other voters strongly favored the idea.
So there is still a very narrow, I will grant you, but there is a pathway to compromise.
But Cooper says the gun lobby remains powerful for the money and the voters it brings, especially among Republicans.
I would say that our gun laws in general are counter-majoritarian. In other words, they run a little bit counter to the average or the majority of the people in this country. So why is that? You've got to turn to the special interests that are trying to keep it them.
Laura Leslie, WRAL News, Raleigh.
We also asked whether people worry that they or their family will become the victims of a mass shooting. 47% said that they're very or somewhat worried. 48% said they were only slightly or not worried at all, and 5% weren't sure. You can find more detailed results for this and our other polling this week at WRAL.com.